You worked 40 years, paid into Social Security every single paycheck, built your 401k. Maybe you've got a pension from the state, the military, or the company that employed you for 3 decades. And now the IRS wants its cut. Your state might want another cut. And the money you thought would carry you through retirement, it's landing at maybe 65% of what you actually earned. That's not a retirement strategy. That's a slow bleed. In this video, I'm breaking down 8 countries where your Social Security, 401k, IRA, and government pension are taxed at exactly 0%. We're talking real laws, real programs, real application requirements. No theories. No, maybe this could work. By the end, you'll know exactly which countries qualify, what they require from you, and why these laws exist in the first place. Albania. Most Americans still have to Google where this is, and that's exactly why it works. Albania writes 0% tax on foreign pension income directly into its tax code. No special perk you have to negotiate. It's the law, and you get the Adriatic coast for a fraction of what you'd pay across the water in Italy. A 1-bedroom apartment on the sea, about $350 a month. Dinner for 2 at a restaurant, around $20. Comfortable living for a couple runs $900 to $1,200 a month. Rent, food, utilities, and private health insurance included. One note, even at 0 tax, Albania still wants an annual filing once you're a resident. Simple, but don't skip it. That's one of 8. And the next 3 are the ones almost nobody talks about. If knowing exactly where your retirement dollars go further is worth 60 seconds a week, subscribe. This channel breaks down one of these the right way every video. The law, the cost, the catch. It. The Dominican Republic offers a complete tax exemption on foreign retirement income under its Pensionado program, Social Security, government pension, 401k distributions, all of it, 0. The requirement is refreshingly simple. Prove around $1,500 a month in pension income, and you're in. No minimum investment, no property purchase, no age restriction beyond being a legal adult. Comfortable living in a coastal town like Las Terrenas or Cabarete runs $1,200 to $1,600 a month. Modern apartment, fresh food, private health care, and money left over. Plus direct flights to Miami, New York, and Atlanta. You're not disappearing. You're relocating to a place where your money actually works. Panama has been doing this longer than almost anyone, and they built it into the legal system. Panama runs a territorial tax model. If the income is earned outside Panama, Panama doesn't touch it. Your Social Security? Outside Panama. Your pension? Outside Panama. Your IRA withdrawals? You see the pattern. The Pensionado visa is one of the most respected retiree programs in the world, and the barrier is low, just $1,000 a month in lifetime pension income. Note that it has to be pension or annuity income. Investment income runs a different visa. Panama City runs $1,800 to $2,200 a month, but head to the highlands like Boquete or the Pacific beaches, and a couple lives very comfortably on $1,400 to $1,800. And here's the part nobody mentions. The Pensionado program legally entitles you to 25% off utilities, 20% off medical services, and 50% off entertainment, not a coupon, written into the law and enforced. Belize, English-speaking Caribbean coast, and a program called the Qualified Retired Persons Program, the QRP. It gives you a full tax exemption on all foreign-sourced income, pensions, Social Security, investment income, IRA distributions, everything. You need to be 45 or older and prove $2,000 a month in passive income, or $24,000 a year. That's the door, not $1 million investment. Income. Living on the coast, Placencia or Ambergris Caye runs $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Inland in San Ignacio, you can do it for $1,200. English is the official language. The legal system is British common law. The currency is pegged 2 to 1 to the US dollar. And Houston is a 2-hour flight away.
Quick thing before the next 4.
Because the back half of this list has the one European country that breaks the rules. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. The Philippines. This is where the cost of living math gets hard to believe. The Special Resident Retirees Visa, the SRRV, lets you hold your foreign pension income free of Philippine tax. Here's how it works after the 2025 overhaul. If you're 50 or older and drawing a pension of at least $800 a month, the required deposit is just $10,000. No pension, the deposit is $20,000. One caution, if you're under 50, that deposit climbs steeply. So this tier is really built for the traditional retiree, and that deposit isn't money gone. Once you arrive, it can convert into an investment, like a condo purchase. A couple lives comfortably in Cebu or Dumaguete for $800 to $1,200 a month. In provincial areas, $700. Your $1,900 Social Security check doesn't just cover the bills here, it leaves you a surplus every month, and English is widely spoken. Costa Rica. Yes, the one everyone already knows, but most people don't know why it works for taxes. Costa Rica uses a territorial tax system, income earned outside the country. Your Social Security, your pension, your distributions is not subject to Costa Rican income tax. The Pensionado Visa asks for just $1,000 a month in lifetime pension income, one of the lowest thresholds anywhere for a country with this level of infrastructure. It's not the cheapest on this list, $1,500 to $2,200 a month for a couple living well. But here's what you're buying. Back in the year 2000, the World Health Organization's landmark ranking scored Costa Rica's healthcare system one spot above the United States. That ranking is old, the WHO never repeated it, but the reputation has held. And as a legal resident, you're in that system. Bulgaria. This is the one I promised you, the one country here that doesn't hit a flat zero, and might still be the smartest play on the whole list. So let me be straight with you about exactly how it works. Bulgaria has a flat 10% income tax, already one of the lowest in all of Europe. And under the U.S.-Bulgaria tax treaty, your U.S. Social Security is generally taxable only back in the States. Bulgaria doesn't touch it. Your private pension and your 401k withdrawals? Those Bulgaria does tax, but at that same flat 10%. Not the 20, 30, or 40% you could be facing elsewhere. 10. And you're doing it inside the European Union. And the cost of living? A one-bedroom in Plovdiv or Varna, $250 to $400 a month. Dinner for two, about $15. A couple lives on $800 to $1,100 a month. In the European Union, with EU healthcare standards and freedom of movement across 27 countries, your Social Security check doesn't make you scrape by here. It makes you upper middle class. Nicaragua. This is the one almost nobody puts on their list, and that's a mistake. Nicaragua's territorial tax system means your foreign retirement income isn't taxed, period. And the income you need to qualify as a pensioner here is among the lowest in the entire region. Prove a modest retirement income, and you're on the path to permanent residency with full tax exemption on your Social Security and pension. Granada or San Juan del Sur, $900 to $1,300 a month for a couple living very comfortably. In smaller cities like Leon, $700 to $900. The cost of living is so low that even a modest Social Security check makes you financially independent.
Your Social Security check hits the account, $2,000. And before you even exhale, it's already gone. Rent, groceries, a prescription, maybe the electric bill if you're lucky. That's retirement in America in 2026. But here's what nobody tells you. Right now, 8 foreign governments are sitting at a table, fighting over your pension dollars. They have built legal programs, actual laws designed specifically to pull American retirees out of the U.S. and into their borders. We're talking tax breaks, healthcare access, bill discounts, and visa programs that ask for almost nothing in return. Not a fantasy. Not a travel blog dream. Real law, real countries, real numbers. Today, we're walking through all 8, and some of these will genuinely surprise you. Panama has been running the most famous retiree program in the world for decades. It's called the Pensionado Visa, and the requirement? $1,000 a month in Social Security or pension income. That's it. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment you qualify, Panamanian law gives you 25% off utility bills, 25% off airline tickets, and 50% off entertainment. By law, not a coupon, not a loyalty reward. The government wrote it in. Panama also uses the US dollar. No currency math. No conversion stress. Your bank works the same way it always has. The catch? Panama City humidity hits like a wall, and local bureaucracy moves slowly. But for $1,000 a month and a legally discounted life, most people say it's absolutely worth it. Safe, stunning, and surprisingly affordable if you know where to look. Portugal's D7 visa requires about $1,000 a month in passive income. Social Security counts. And once you're in, you get access to the Portuguese public healthcare system, which makes American Medicare look expensive. But here's the catch most people miss. Lisbon has gotten pricey. If you land in the capital expecting the old bargain, you'll be disappointed. Therefore, you need to look at the Silver Coast or the Algarve. Towns like Caldas da Rainha or Lagos, rents drop hard. The lifestyle doesn't. One of the safest countries on the planet, Western European infrastructure, and a coast that looks like it was designed to retire on. Portugal keeps showing up on these lists for a reason. Big American expat community, warm weather year-round, and a healthcare system that quietly outperforms what most Americans are paying 3 times the price for back home. Costa Rica's Pensionado program needs exactly $1,000 a month. Same threshold. But the real reason people move here is medical. The private hospital network, CIMA, specifically performs major surgeries at 70% less than U.S. prices. Heart procedures, orthopedics, dental, all of it. The trade-off? Imported goods carry brutal taxes. American cars, electronics, anything shipped in gets expensive fast. But if you buy local and live local, the math works beautifully. English is widely spoken. The people are some of the warmest you will ever meet. And the cultural respect for older people here isn't marketing language. It's built into the way people actually live. The visa is called the SRRV, Special Resident Retirees Visa. It asks for $800 a month in pension income, plus a modest bank deposit. But this is the number that stops people cold. Full-time, live-in domestic and healthcare help costs under $300 a month. That is not a typo. For many retirees dealing with mobility or health challenges, that single fact changes everything. The honest catch: infrastructure outside the major cities can be rough. Power outages happen. But inside cities like Cebu or in established expat towns, daily life runs smoothly. This one costs more to get into. But look at what you're buying. Spain's non-lucrative visa requires around $2,400 a month in income. Higher bar. But you get first-world infrastructure, one of the best rail systems in the world, and a Mediterranean lifestyle that health researchers literally study for its longevity effects. Groceries and dining out cost roughly half of what you'd pay in the American Midwest. The streets are clean. The healthcare system is ranked among the best in Europe. The one thing you must know: if you spend more than 183 days a year in Spain, you become a Spanish tax resident. Your worldwide income gets taxed. Therefore, anyone considering Spain needs a tax plan before they pack a suitcase. Get that sorted first. Caribbean living, English as the official language, and sitting just south of Mexico's border for easy travel. Belize's QRP program, Qualified Retired Persons, asks for $2,000 a month in income. But here's the trade nobody talks about: 0% tax on any income earned outside of Belize. Every penny of your pension stays yours. Social Security, investment income, retirement distributions, Belize doesn't touch a cent of it. The honest downside: the local healthcare system is basic. Most expats fly to Mexico or back to the US for anything serious. So factor that into your budget. But as a tax-free base with a Caribbean backdrop and zero language barrier, Belize is quietly underrated. Specifically, Cuenca. And specifically because the weather there is described as permanent spring. No air conditioning needed. No central heating needed. The Andes Mountains create a climate that sits around 65 to 70 degrees nearly every day of the year. Ecuador's pensioner visa requires $13.50 a month. And for that, a fully modern luxury apartment in Cuenca's historic center runs under $600 a month. There are people living there right now, in beautiful apartments, spending less on housing than most Americans spend on car insurance. The real warning: high altitude is a serious consideration. For retirees with heart or respiratory conditions, Cuenca sits at over 8,000 feet. Talk to your doctor before you book a flight. Most people still have to Google where this is. That's exactly why it made this list. Albania sits on the Adriatic and Ionian Seas. Turquoise water, cliffs, a coastline that looks like the Greek islands at a fraction of the price. You can take a 30-minute ferry from Saranda straight to Corfu. The retirement resident permit requires about $1,000 a month. But a new law recently passed that makes it even more interesting. Foreign pensioners in Albania pay 0% income tax on their pensions. The honest catch: outside the capital Tirana, infrastructure is still developing. Healthcare is limited in rural areas. But as an affordable, visa-friendly, tax-free Mediterranean base that almost nobody has discovered yet, Albania is the sleeper pick on this entire list. Here's the real story. 8 governments around the world looked at what retirement in America has become, and they made a decision. They want those Social Security dollars. They want those pension checks flowing into their economies. And they built legal programs to make it happen. Staying in financial stress is not your only option. It is a choice. And right now, 8 countries are offering you a different one. Which of these 8 would you actually consider? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. Subscribe to Life After Retirement. Next video, we're breaking down exactly how to move your money overseas legally without the IRS taking a cut. Don't miss it.